Hello and welcome to the Iowa Sports Foundation Year in Review. I'm your host, Rod Bodholt. 2024 was another exciting year of programs and competitions at the Iowa Sports Foundation. On today's show, we'll take a look back at some of the events and people that have made this past year special. From another exciting year of competition at the Iowa Summer and Winter Games to the inspiring competitions in Adaptive Sports Iowa and the Iowa Corporate Games and the many events and activities in Live Healthy Iowa, our state was once again on the move in 2024. Over the next half hour, we'll take a look back at some of the people and events that have helped make this past year one to remember. After this short timeout, we'll kick it all off by visiting with Iowa Sports Foundation CEO Chuck Long. Stay with us.
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
Take your mark.
Be part of Iowa's largest winter sports festival, the 2025 Winter Iowa Games, presented by Grinnell Mutual. From archery to volleyball, the Winter Iowa Games have sports for all ages. Be part of the tradition and be an athlete. Find your sport. Register now at iowagames.org. Let the games begin and go for the gold.
Welcome back to the Iowa Sports Foundation Year in Review. 2024 was year number 38 for the Iowa Sports Foundation, and the past 10 years have been led by former Iowa Hawkeye quarterback Chuck Long. We begin our look back by visiting with Chuck about some of the many accomplishments and successes for the Iowa Sports Foundation in 2024.
It has been a great 10 years. We've had many highlights this year, including amazing growth in our corporate games, with over 150 companies and close to 30,000 participants. We've also had over 17,000 athletes, coaches, and spectators were part of the Iowa Games this summer. Adaptive Sports Iowa hosted the Northern Conference Wheelchair Basketball Tournament for the first time ever, hosting teams from all around the Midwest. Live Healthy Iowa participants reported over 15 million minutes of activity, and our oldest participant in the Senior Games was 95 years young. I think I had a memorable moment in each one of our pillars. Starting with the Iowa Games, we had a great summer and winter games, and it's always nice to see from 5 years old to 95 years old participate in our games. That always gives me a thrill and a chill, just because of the motivational aspect and just to see the way they compete and the passion that they have. And we're seeing generations now, families handing it down with the Iowa Games, because it's been around since 1987. Our corporate games were just outstanding with close to 30,000 participants. It is really fun to go to the Grand Concourse at the Iowa State Fair and give out awards in Des Moines. We also do it in Cedar Rapids and the Quad Cities, but when the teams come with the representatives to collect the trophy, they really take a lot of pride in that. That's one of my favorite days, when we hand out the awards in those respective communities. Live Healthy Iowa, again, 15 million minutes of activity, still resonates with people. With all the apps out there and all the competition out there, they still have a great passion and desire to be in our Live Healthy Iowa pillar. Senior Games, we had a 93-year-old and a 94-year-old 100-yard dashers, and they did not walk, they were running. And that is always inspirational and fun to watch, and each and every year I get a thrill out of that. Of course, last but not least, Adaptive Sports Iowa, always part of at least a one-day ride with our RAGBRAI cycling team on the RAGBRAI route. It's always fun to touch base with them and ride with them. A very passionate group, as we all know. And then I really get a kick out of the track meet at the Blue Oval every year, and how we give out track chairs and sport chairs for high school athletes right all across the state to be able to come to the Blue Oval and compete in track. That's always a great thrill, and just really excited for them. When you see it on their faces, they're able to compete. So there's a little bit in each pillar, and then that's what I remember about 2024.
Lots to celebrate for the Iowa Sports Foundation in 2024. We thank Chuck Long for that recap. We'll visit more with Chuck a little bit later in the show. Right now, we'll take another quick time out. When we come back, we'll share the story of a longtime Iowa Games athlete and volunteer. That story is coming up next.
I think everyone knows us as a company that sells food. We don't want anyone to go hungry, ever. Our commitment to feeding people on the other side of the world and in our own backyards pushed us to set a goal to provide 100 million meals and to fill up the food banks across our communities. Last year, Hy-Vee donated a little over $57 million, and we'll do it again. I promise you that. Not because we can, but because we should.
We are Wellmark. What makes us different makes us great. We're based in the communities we serve. Unlike our competitors, we're owned by our members rather than a distant stockholder. This means we focus on our customers, not our stock price. Since our beginning, we have worked to shape the healthcare industry through innovation and leadership, helping people take control of their well-being and improving their lives.
Welcome back to the show. The Iowa Sports Foundation was founded in 1987, and Carol Marty of Ames has been along for the ride almost every step of the way, in even more ways than you can imagine.
Growing up in a small school, I played some basketball and baseball. And since it was a small school, most everybody who could move was on the team. College, I did go out for track my senior year. There again, it was a small college and we didn't have a lot of coaching, but I at least got in shape somewhat. Later on, I guess when my kids were running in track, went to Drake Relays, and the first year I saw a couple guys running in the Masters, and so I said, well, there's only two guys running, I could run in that and probably get third place at least. So I did run in that 2 years, but never placed because there was a lot more people running the next 2 years. Didn't really get involved in running in senior games until I was, well, in '60 I played racquetball for the first time in senior games and went to nationals that following year. Probably in my early 60s when I started running in track and doing also field events, shot put, discus, and whatever. And then became quite involved, and there was one year I went to 10 different senior games around the country. And you get into the 60s, we had a lot of participants, so you had to be fairly good to place. Get in the 70s, they got a little thinner, get into 80s, and they get very, very thin. So this year in Iowa Senior Games, I competed in my 90s in badminton, and I guess I also, I did disc golf and also did the 1600 power walk. Quite slow compared to the other guys, but I did finish. I'm a firm believer in activity, keeping active, it's what keeps me going. I'm also very involved in volunteer. I've been volunteering for Iowa Sports Foundation, probably since '87, since when the Iowa Games started. Well, I think people who I see retiring, I say, you gotta find something to do, you gotta be active. I mean, if you're not active, you're not gonna live very long. Because some of these people you see time and time again. In my badminton days, I would play doubles. I wouldn't have a double partner, so I would go and find a doubles partner around the nation. And some of these have been quite good friends. You know, I've had guys from, I guess, Texas as partners and Washington as partners. And so you get to know a lot of people. I started volunteering in Iowa Games in '87 when it started, and I volunteered or competed every year until the last 2 years. Yeah, and I kind of felt like I was maybe getting too old. Because the year before that, I said, well, I can probably still go help with the high jump. I could set the bar. Well, I got out there and they said, you know, you're running it. Oh, okay. So yeah, I've done so much for Iowa Sports Foundation. You know, I could walk around this room. We built shelves when it was still back in the dormitories. And so, yeah, lots of stuff.
A big thank you to Carol Marty for sharing his incredible story and for all he has done for the Iowa Sports Foundation over the years. Let's take a break right now on our Year in Review show, but don't go away. We'll have another inspiring story from Adaptive Sports Iowa when we come back.
Take your mark.
Be part of Iowa's largest winter sports festival, the 2025 Winter Iowa Games, presented by Grinnell Mutual. From archery to volleyball, the Winter Iowa Games have sports for all ages. Be part of the tradition and be an athlete. Find your sport. Register now at iowagames.org. Let the games begin and go for the gold.
Dear future, we're on a mission to make small-town America bigger than anyone ever dreamed. We know you're coming for us fast and that you can easily change the tech game overnight. That's why at MediaCom, we're always pushing the limits, increasing speeds, improving reliability, working around the clock to monitor the health and security of our network. We're on a mission and we'll do whatever it takes to make it happen. Sincerely, MediaCom.
Welcome back to the Iowa Sports Foundation Year in Review. The Adaptive Sports Iowa program is full of great stories from athletes overcoming adversity when given the opportunity. Mary Biller has one of those amazing stories, and she shares it with us now.
In 2011, I got involved with the Spina Bifida Association of Iowa. I am an adult with spina bifida, and through that organization, I learned about Adaptive Sports Iowa and what they do for the disabled community. And I've never been an active person. And when I found out what they do, I decided, let's try some things. And I've tried wheelchair basketball, I've tried adaptive bowling. I'm now into wheelchair tennis. That's my favorite. I've done that for about 4 years. Still learning. I don't use a wheelchair every day. And so really the only time I use a wheelchair is for adaptive tennis. So, but I love it. I love it. It keeps me going even though it's a chair. I thought, you know, why not try? I've never really had opportunities to do this kind of thing. And when I found the opportunity, I had to take it. And I'm so glad I did. It's nice to be with a group who gets your story. And they are in the same kind of situation. And it's just nice to have peers that understand what you need to do to move. Adaptive Sports Iowa has found a way to keep fitness in their program. Right now I work out. I've never worked out in my adult life up until 4 or 5 years ago. And I work out at CrossFit 80-35 in Grimes now. And I'm finding that even though I have spina bifida, my body still has the strength to build. It's there. You know, I always used to think it was gone. It's not. I have something to build on. To any disabled person, whatever the disability is, go out, try it, watch for a while, if that works, but try it. I always tell people, even children in wheelchairs, let them try. They're gonna have difficulty, they're gonna have challenges, but just let them try. And I guarantee it's the best thing that they'll ever do.
Congratulations to Mary for all she has accomplished, and thank you, Mary, for sharing your inspiring story. Stay with us on the program. We'll meet a couple new faces for the Iowa Sports Foundation team when we come back.
There's a spirit of innovation radiating from the Iowa State campus. You can feel it flowing through every building and in the hearts and minds of every person who studies and works here. It inspires a culture of creativity and collaboration unlike any other university, which is just one reason Iowa State was honored as the Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State, the spirit of innovation is in everyone, guiding us to create a brighter future for all.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the show. With all that happens during the calendar year at the Iowa Sports Foundation, it's no surprise that there is a great team behind the scenes that helps make it all happen. Today, we want to introduce you to a couple of new members of that team, TJ Schnur and Rob Good.
I grew up here in central Iowa, and I've always been really interested in kind of grassroots athletics and giving opportunity to kids that might not be the most skilled, but they really enjoy like kind of the process of sports and just being able to come out and do something that's for fun and not really oriented towards winning all the time. Kind of just being able to provide those opportunities is something that I was really interested in. So I played ultimate frisbee in high school and in college. And it being a smaller sport, I think being able to kind of see people that care about smaller sports and things like that interests me a lot more. Kind of having a wide range of sports that we provide was always something that I kind of cared about and appreciated. So I was hired 12 days before we started, so we kind of just talked about a little bit of jumping into the fire a little bit, but it was a great time. 2 weekends of going out with the camera with Corey and our intern Faith, taking photos of all the sports and kind of also learning that on the fly, trying to learn about lighting and photography a little more. But yeah, kind of just experiencing every single different sport and what it needs and what people get out of it was kind of really fun to me. I think it's a team that really likes to help each other out, and we understand that we might be small, but that just means that other people have to step up and do a job that they might not be super interested in doing. So it's just kind of making a small sacrifice to make the event happen and make sure it works well. And I think another big part is how people talk about like Iowa Nice, but I think kind of our participants really understand that it's a grassroots thing that a lot of work goes into, and they understand that we're trying our best, and they're also giving us a little bit of grace while we work through everything. It's kind of why you do events like this, I think. You get to see all of the work come together, and you get to see the people happy at the end, which is a huge part of it. And I think that being able to provide so many different opportunities for people that are interested in different things is also a huge part of it. You can give people new opportunities, or you can give people the same high quality opportunity that they've been receiving for 40 years with the Iowa Games.
I grew up in Algona, Iowa, played sports growing up, played football, basketball, track, a little bit of baseball too. Ended up going to Coe College to play basketball. That's kind of what started me in sports management, studied sports management there, and then I actually started interning with the Corporate Games, which is part of the Iowa Sports Foundation in Cedar Rapids. So I'm the sports and competitions coordinator here. I'm essentially kind of the middleman, helping with both Kyle and Cole. I'm helping out with the Corporate Games here, as well as the Iowa Games. We have like the summer games, winter games, and then mostly the Des Moines Corporate Games as well. I'm just looking forward to putting on all the events and kind of seeing our hard work pay off. And then again, just seeing all the athletes have fun and competing over the summer. Yeah, I would say just everything that goes into it. It's not going to be just practice and just the games. There's a lot of outside stuff that really, if you just put your head towards and work on that the hardest, it's going to smooth everything out for the actual competitions, actual events. Just like the family atmosphere, I feel like everyone's super helpful. No matter how many questions you have, they're always going to answer it as best as they can. They're going to stop what they're doing just to help you out, and that's really important to me, that family aspect here.
TJ and Rob have hit the ground running to keep things running smoothly at the Iowa Sports Foundation. Stay with us on the show. We'll shine the spotlight on the Iowa corporate games when we come back.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating. Great idea. Caring. Let's take a listen. Say leading research. Sharing our expertise with all.
That's great.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better.
Take your mark.
Be part of Iowa's largest winter sports festival, the 2025 Winter Iowa Games, presented by Grinnell Mutual. From archery to volleyball, the Winter Iowa Games have sports for all ages. Be part of the tradition and be an athlete. Find your sport. Register now at iowagames.org. Let the games begin and go for the gold.
Welcome back to the Iowa Sports Foundation Year in Review. If you are looking for a way to bring a little activity and energy to your workplace, you might want to check out the Iowa Corporate Games. Alex Battani and his team from Foster Group did just that a while back, and the results have been very positive, both in competitions and at the office.
Foster Group is a wealth management firm. We have offices in West Des Moines and Omaha. Roughly 80 people. Tight-knit group, always growing, and I like to say that we're different and we're fun. We all have to work, and, well, the majority of us have to work, so I want to make sure that work is enjoyable, and I think the corporate games, for me, has helped make the work environment a lot more fun during the summer. We started with the corporate games 5 or 6 years ago. I heard about them, thought they sounded like a lot of fun. I was looking for a way to get involved, just active in the community, active for things outside of work. We made the proposal to our firm to get involved. It was very cost effective for us to jump in, and we learned a lot in that first year. We learned a lot about each other. We learned a lot about what was available with the corporate games and how we discovered there truly was something for everyone. When we showed up, we have a lot of people that ran in college, collegiate runners. I'm not a runner, but I've learned to embrace the fun that running can bring. I love the team activities, and there's opportunities to participate through more intense sports like basketball, and then fun sports like kickball, where you haven't played kickball for 20 years since elementary school, but here we are trying to play kickball again, and even if they're not competitive, they're still having fun. And that's what we've been focusing on with our firm, is that get everyone involved and make sure that they're having fun and make sure that the other team is having fun too. The way I define success for our firm is our people being involved. Yes, we want to win. We want to try to win, but it's not the most important thing to everyone in the firm. So for me personally, it's getting people involved so that when we have more people participating in each event, I feel a lot better about the games. So if you're new and you're looking to try this for the first time, come up with a plan of how you're going to invite the individuals that don't want to do team sports. How are you going to get them involved? How are you going to get the folks that have a drive for winning? How are you going to get them to play along with those that just want to be there for fun? And it's a balance, because you want to appeal to both sides. But for us, we just say, focus on what you want to do, and then push yourself to do something new. So you may just want to do the walk, and that's great, do it. But try the 5K too. We actually track participation too, of how many people in the firm are doing something. And we usually have everyone in the firm do at least one event. Over the last 5 years, the way that we've grown in succeeding and placing higher in the standings is by getting more people at more events. I'm fortunate working at a firm of 80 people that can walk around and ask people at their desk, hey, can you come help with this? Have you considered doing, being part of a duathlon team? Can you just run a 5K as part of a team. That's easy when you're 80. If you're more like 1,000 employees, that might be hard to walk around and talk to 1,000 people. It helps when you have a good company with really good culture to start with to embrace more people.
What a great story from the Foster Group. Thanks again to Alex for sharing it with us. Let's take our final time out on the program. When we come back, we'll talk more with Chuck Long. Stay with us.
With rising premium costs, you might be tempted to pull back on how much insurance you carry. But it's still important to have robust coverage from a company you can rely on in case disaster strikes. We believe in neighbors helping neighbors. We've been a trusted source for quality insurance since 1909. We offer both personal and business insurance products, and we can help protect what you value most. You can trust in tomorrow with Grinnell Mutual. For more information, visit grinnellmutual.com.
Welcome back to the Iowa Sports Foundation Year in Review. We've spent this program looking back at some great stories from 2024. Now it's time to look ahead to 2025. Here's Chuck Long with a sneak peek.
2025 is going to be a great year for the ISF. We'll kick things off in the new year with the Live Healthy Iowa 10-Week Wellness Challenge, proudly sponsored by the Iowa Food and Family Project, and the Winter Iowa Games presented by Grinnell Mutual, along with Adaptive Sports Iowa programs and events ongoing all year. Also, I'd like to note that the registration is open for the corporate games across the state, and registration will open for the Summer Iowa Games and Iowa Senior Games on March 1st, which really isn't too far away, so we are looking forward to that. I would like to say thank you to all the sponsors, donors, supporters, participants, commissioners, and volunteers who make a huge impact for the Iowa Sports Foundation. Your commitment allows us to continue as a state's leader in providing opportunities for Iowans to live a healthier lifestyle. We sincerely thank you for your support and look forward to continuing our relationship for many years to come.
And we wish Chuck and his team all the best in the coming year as they continue to do great things at the Iowa Sports Foundation. The entire state is excited for the upcoming year and looking forward to the many great programs, events, and competitions to come in 2025. We encourage you to get involved and be part of the fun. We leave you now with a big thank you to all of the sponsors who help make these programs and events possible every year. It wouldn't happen without you, so thank you again for all of your support. Thanks to you for watching our program, and Happy New Year from the Iowa Sports Foundation.